I was diagnosed with cancer of the small intestine, and I didn't know if I'd live to see the spring. And I experienced true fear over the loved ones I might leave behind. But God gave me peace. He helped me realize that no matter the outcome, it was His good and perfect will. He created the universe, and with or without me, certainly He could take care of my family.
After my husband and I had been married about a year and a half, we were told by a fertility specialist that we would never have any children, which was really devastating to us. But we felt as though God had led us to pursue both adoption and to trust Him to have children that we would give birth to as well. We felt as though God had given us the hope that within 5 years we would have 3 children. And this word came to pass for us. And that's Tony, Chip, and Daniel, my sons, were born in that time frame, which was so amazing, and God did this great thing for us. And what I learned was that hope is the ability to remain in a posture of expectation that God is coming to do something great.
In the fall of '05, I was arrested for malicious wounding because I got in a fight, and I spent like a week in jail. And then upon release, I kind of was depressed because of everything that happened. I also was really scared and anxious because I was awaiting trial. I just hid my depression and fear, everything with alcohol and drugs, and never really dealt with it. Then the trial came, and I was all good, and everything worked out. I was found not guilty and everything, and then God just saw me out and just found me, and He drastically changed my life. I haven't had a drink in 2 years, and I'm also dealing with a lot of my anxiety problems now. So I'm all good. I'm hurt at the hope.
Life can be a journey of hurt, and sometimes you have hills and valleys, and you just don't know how you're going to make it through. But what I have found in my life is when I surrendered my life to Christ, and I allowed Him to work in my life and trust, all of my hurt has been healed. They're still there, but they don't affect me the way they used to. And my life now is on a journey of hope, recovery, and celebration.
When I was 5 years old, I lost my mom, and at the time I didn't know how much I did lost, but one of the things, it was my ability to dream about my own future. I thought that I don't have one, and then I met God, and He taught me how to dream for me and for other people, and now I'm not scared anymore, and I gain so much from that, at least peace and hope.
I'm a survivor of child sexual abuse, which led me down a path of destruction, drugs, alcohol, and sexual sin. And God placed me in a 10-day coma where I actually died from an overdose of drugs and alcohol, and He delivered me. And now I live a life of hope, love, and peace.
Through my daughter's childhood friend, April Briggs, we came to this church in 2000. We were greeted openly by everyone with great love, but I was very hurt and I was very depressed and my spirit was very heavy. I spent much of my time crying through all the services as God ministered to my heart after going through bouts of depression and being very suicidal, spending time in hospitals for this. Pastor asked me to greet, and that opened the doors for me for my involvement in the church. I began to sing. I began to just feel hope in my life, and through the combination of everyone's unconditional love, it restored my hope and my joy. And today, what I like to be able to do is just give back that joy and that hope to others.
My life as I knew it fell apart in May of 2008. My son had an accident, and within 24 hours, he was arrested from our home for manslaughter while under the influence. A month later, I went through my own accident and fought for my own physical life. And when I woke up, I went through a deep, dark period of desperation and depression. And I wish I could say that I just prayed every day and trusted God, but I didn't, because I was really, really angry. But you know what? God knows how we feel. And what he does is he just meets us where we are in our hurt. And I read in his word that he will restore me to health and heal all my wounds. And he's doing that for me and both for my son as well, who's serving the Lord now as he's carrying out his sentence.
In September 2006, my mom was diagnosed with cancer for the third time. Taking care of her during her battle and losing her in June of 2007 was the most difficult thing I've ever experienced. She was my best friend, and I didn't know if I would have the strength to move forward without my mom. It took me several months to beat my depression, but when the new year started, I felt like I had a fresh start. I felt my mom's strength pushing me to stay strong, and I had a faithful trust in God that He would be there to hold me even during my difficult days. It's been 2.5 years now since my mom passed away, and even though I still have difficult days and I miss her every day, my relationship with Jesus gives me the strength and the hope that I need to move forward.
There are certain events that can send your life into a spin. A diagnosis of life-threatening cancer is one of them. I'm so grateful for an established trust in a loving and faithful God. My hope is in a God that can control the whole earth, but holds me firmly in His hand.
After 23 separations in 7 years, my husband and I were convinced that there was no chance of reconciliation, and our marriage was over. However, God had different plans for our lives, and He began to do an incredible miracle in both of our hearts. And after what seemed like an eternity of unbearable pain for our entire family, God was able to heal our marriage and take us from hurt to hope. And this year we will be celebrating our 30th wedding anniversary.
Well, back in 2005, I started having a few problems with my heart. So they decided that I needed a new aortic valve. So they went in and put the valve in. That all went great. But about a month later, things didn't look too good. So I went back in for some other tests, and another procedure took place, and well, I died. And that was pretty bad. But my wife and daughter prayed, and they were constantly in prayer. A couple days later, I'm back. And I'm back teaching kids. That's what I live for. That's it. I've got the hope that another kid will get saved this week.